Tessa, I'm really thrilled to be talking to you. So tell me a little bit about your business. What do you do? Why is it important?
So Olio is a free app, and we're tackling the problem of food waste, and specifically food waste in the home and the local community. So how the app works is that anyone who has unwanted food, and that could be you or I,
Right.
or it could be a volunteer who has collected unsold food from a local retailer. You would take that food, you take a photograph, you upload the food to the Olio app. Neighbours who live nearby get an alert, they can then browse the listings, request what they want, and pop round and pick the food up. So it really is about sort of connecting neighbours to share food rather than throw it in the bin. Sadly, it's no exaggeration to say that food waste is one of the largest problems facing humanity today. So globally, a third of all the food we produce gets thrown away, which
terrible.
is worth it's crazy. That's worth over $1 trillion a year.
Wow.
Meanwhile, alongside that, we have 800 million people who go to bed hungry every night, and they can be fed on a quarter of the food that we waste in the Western world. Food waste is the third largest source of climate change.
So if we found solutions for this, we could feed the world.
Yes, we can. And this becomes increasingly pressing because at the moment there's just over 7.5 billion people living on the planet.
Yeah.
By 2050, there's going to be almost 10 billion people living on the planet.
Yeah.
And the FAO has projected that in order to feed all of us, we're going to have to increase global food production by 50%.
Wow.
Now, today, no one has any idea how we're going to increase global food production by 50%. We do not know how we're going to feed everybody.
So what's your big moonshot?
We need over 1 billion people using Olio within the next 10 years.
Right.
So that is what sort of motivates me and Sasha.
So 1 billion people using Olio within 10 years. So you've been quite disruptive. How are you going about being disruptive?
We believe passionately that the world's largest problems are going to be solved by businesses with a purpose. So I think business has shown that it is unprecedented in its ability to scale and to grow very rapidly and to have impact. And if we can harness that for good, that's the most effective way to solve some of society's biggest problems.
Right. I totally agree with you. It's why I set up the Achieving Remarkable Things community on Facebook. It's, business isn't so powerful and it delivers a huge amount of value. It can also do a lot of things wrong. But when you get it right, as you say, you can scale it up, you can deliver real value. And it doesn't have to be about the profit motive. It can be also about delivering meaningful benefits to people around the world and still making a good profit.
For us, I find it very, very frustrating that we seem to live in a world that believes that there are kind of two paradigms. There's one, which is that either you are a charity and you do good, or you're a business and you grow very rapidly and deliver lots of profit and probably don't do much good, and in fact, arguably do a lot of harm. And people get very perplexed when we try and explain that we are a business that wants to do good and has social purpose baked into our DNA. But thankfully, this is changing, and actually we have a number of investors who call themselves sort of impact investors, and they measure us very, very carefully, not only on our traditional business metrics, but also on our impact metrics. I firmly believe that at the moment, it can feel difficult being in our position because we're not the norm. We are sort of pushing at the boundaries, and a lot of people don't understand. But I passionately believe that if you are a business that is not sustainable, that does not respect the planet, does not respect the local communities in which you operate, and you will not be a successful business in the future.
100% agree with you. What advice would you give someone who wants to use the power of business and make the world a better place?
First of all, believe in yourself. I think everybody at the beginning of the entrepreneurial journey, or everyone that I've met, suffers from massive imposter syndrome. So you've just got to sort of feel the fear and do it anyway.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I think it's really important to spend a lot of time understanding the problem that you are trying to solve.
Yeah.
And checking that it really is a problem. It's not just an irritation, it's a problem.
Yeah. And
that it is a widespread problem felt by many people, or it's felt by a very few people who are prepared to pay you a lot of money to solve it. So
yeah.
I think a lot of entrepreneurs don't spend enough time really understanding the problem and really understanding whether they're adding sort of sufficient value. Is their solution 10 times better than what currently exists?
Yeah.
Because an incremental improvement is not enough. And then the final thing I would say is lots of entrepreneurs want to very quickly sort of invest their life savings building an app.
Mm-hmm.
Building an app is expensive. It's extremely difficult to get cut through. There are hundreds of millions of apps in the App Store and Google Play. And so before you do that, I strongly recommend that you try and test sort of a pilot version of your idea on an existing platform, whether it be on Instagram or on Facebook or on WhatsApp. Try that and get some learnings for free before you start investing heavily.
Brilliant. That's great advice. Listen, it's been wonderful talking to you. I've learned so much. I wish you all of the success, and definitely going to be going out there and promoting you using the Olio app. And thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. No worries. My pleasure.